Thank you for the wonderful introduction. How are you guys doing? Hi, Ishan, Amit, Sagar, Zingas, Navdeep, Syed. All right, everybody's charged up. Everybody's ready. I'm loud and clear. Right? Any audio problems? No? All right, let's get started then. Okay. So we're going to have we're going to discuss a lot. We're going to take a lot of questions from you guys. Okay. Try to keep it as interactive as possible. All right. Okay. Sagar says a little too loud. Okay, I'll reduce my volume. All right. I'm going to be asking a lot of questions, and in return, I expect a lot of answers. Okay. And in return of that, I'll make sure that when you leave this online seminar, all your questions are answered, and you know all the 7 steps, and you are very clear of how to reach your dream university. All right. Okay. So the first question I want to know is which admission season are you planning to go for, and how many of you are aware of the various seasons that are there for admissions? Okay, Santosh is going for fall 2015, Sagar for spring, Anmol is going for fall 2014, fall 2015, Sagar, Shashwat for fall 2015, okay, Indra doesn't know, Daman says 2015, fall 2015 says Amit, fall 2015 says Fateh, Zingas doesn't know, Abhijit spring 2015, Vinay for 2015. Okay, all those who are saying 2015, are you planning for spring 2015 or fall 2015? Okay, Abhinav says not yet decided. Sai Nitish doesn't know. Okay, Aditya is going for this 2014. Santosh for 2015. Not yet decided, says Bhupendra. Not yet decided till now. Okay, so how many of you know what fall and spring means? Anybody who doesn't know what it means? Okay, fall is August, says Shashwat. Okay, Indra doesn't know. All right, some of you don't know. All right, very briefly, we'll start with talking about this regarding what is fall and what is spring. Okay, right now. For the fall 2014 admissions, the admissions opened somewhere in November, December, and most of the universities, they are closing now, and some of them are still open. So by April, March, April, by end of April, a lot of them will close. Okay, and after that you will have admissions for spring 2015. That will be around July, August. Okay. Then you will have again the next fall in November, December. Okay, so you will have to write your GRE about 7 or 8 months before the season, before you join it. Yes, Navdeep, I can read your messages. Okay, now those who are planning to go for fall 2015, okay. We'll discuss, what should be your, ideal GRE preparation plan like. Okay. Okay. Now, how many of you know when you should write the GRE? Okay. How many of you have thought about your GRE dates? Okay, Santosh is not sure. Shashwat says September. Anmol says June. Fateh says 20th March. Okay. All right. So you can answer this poll. It'll make it very easy for me to understand. Shrivas says 6 months before applying to university. Aditya says April 4th. Maybe June or July, says Amit. After 6 months, says Navdeep. Naman says August. Fall 2015, says Anmol. All right. 2016 says Sai Nitish. All right. So can I close the poll? Okay, so I see a lot of you have answered after 6 months. Okay, so I'm assuming that all of you are planning to go for fall 2015. Okay, and even those who are going for fall 2015, I think it is good to start your preparation right now. Okay, you can prepare for 5-6 months and then write to your GRE, and you will have good amount of time shortlisting universities and writing, making arrangement for all the other things required for to get into university. Okay, what are those other things that are required after writing your GRE? We'll discuss all that as we proceed with the seminar. Yes, Sagar, you can apply for spring 2015. It is possible right now. Okay. Now one more poll I like all of you to participate in. Okay. So what is your current level of preparation with respect to GRE? Okay, how many of you started? How many of you are just getting started? Okay, Abhijit, not much. Zinga says not yet started. All right. Not yet says Sai. Not yet started says Navdeep. Not yet started says Abhinav. All right. Okay. All right. Sagar has tried once. All right, Sagar. Okay. So the poll results are very surprising to me. Close to 94% of you are just getting started or just started. Okay. So can I close the poll now? All right. Okay. So because many of you are just getting started or not yet started. Okay. At the end of the seminar, we'll also have talk on how you should prepare for GRE. Okay. What are the things you should consider when you are preparing for GRE in order to get a high score? Okay. So we'll keep the GRE related questions for the later part of the seminar. Okay. Fine, guys. Okay. Now, how do you choose a GRE date? Okay. How do you choose when should you write your GRE? Okay. Now you should find out which admission season you are going to plan to go for. Okay. How early should you apply for a particular admission season? Okay. We talked earlier that you should you should have your score about 8 months before the deadlines, before the season starts. Okay, and then you should know what your profile looks like. Do you need to improve it? Okay. Now, what does a profile consist of? We'll look into that also. Okay. What is your current level of preparation? How much time will it take for you to get at par with the GRE? Okay. And time available for preparation. Okay. Now, if you have some holidays going on, maybe you can spend more hours every day and you can finish off earlier. Okay. So what is the time available for preparation, and how much of score are you actually looking for? Okay. So everybody has a dream university. How many of you have a dream university? Okay. So which one is it? Okay. Penn State says Anmol. MIT says Abhinav. CMU says Sagar. MIT says Bhupendra. Okay, MIT, one more guy says there's Vaibhav. USC says Amit. California, Carnegie Mellon, MIT, TAMU, Texas, UCLA, Michigan. All right, University of California, Berkeley. So many of them. Okay. Now, what you have to do is you have to find out, what is the requirement of all these universities. Okay. What is the score that each one of them requires you to have. Okay. Now all the universities that I see here, okay, most of them would require more than 320. Okay. Now to get a score like that, how much time do you need to prepare? What kind of preparation you need to do? You need to consider all that. Okay. Once you have found out the answers to all of that, you can think of a GRE date. Okay, and then you can mark mark your calendar for that date and start thinking of how to prepare for that. Okay. Now you told me a lot of universities, and all of them happen to be in US. Okay, so my next question is, why is that you want to in US? Right? Okay, better exposure says Naman. Job facility says Indra. Well qualified professor. Okay, Pranay says we love Obama. Okay. Job prospects, better opportunities and exposure, quality of education, no language issues, better research opportunities, job opportunities, better equipment, better research. All right. Okay. So one more question. Regarding to GRE date. That we got earlier. Okay. Just clarify that immediately. Okay. Somebody asked me, can I book a GRE date anytime? Yeah. So you can write GRE throughout the year. Okay. Except for public holidays, Saturdays, Sundays, you can write GRE throughout the year. Okay. But you will have to check the availability of seats. Okay, there are limited seats for GRE every day. Okay, because they happen in some centers. Okay, so there are about 13 centers in India. Okay, so find out which is the nearest one to your city and what is the availability. Okay, so Shashwat, in India you have to appear for online GRE. Okay, so only in very few countries where there is probably no internet connection, in such places only you will find offline GRE or paper based exam. Okay, but in most countries you will be writing online computer adaptive format of GRE. Okay, no written based GRE. That exactly right. Okay. Now there is something called a subject GRE for which you may have to write paper based GRE, but we will not get into that. Okay, very briefly I will tell you, in case you are changing your stream, going from mechanical to say computers, you are going from literature to say business. Okay, in that case some universities might ask you to write a paper based exam. Okay, to check your competence in the field you are planning to switch to. All right. Okay. Now we'll get back to why study in the US. Okay, so a lot of you gave me a lot of reasons. Okay, now I'll tell you what I'll just summarize whatever you said and adding a few points of mine. Okay, it's open to cultural diversity. Okay, how many of you would like to be in a place where you are the only Indian? Would you like to be in a place like that? Would you like to be in a place where everybody looks at you like an alien? Definitely not. Right? And a place where you're treated as equal, a place where you are welcomed, people are warm to you, right? There's no discrimination because you're an Indian. Okay, you're given equal opportunities regardless of who you are, what you are, and where you come from. Okay, so that is one place that is USA. Okay, so that is why it's a very popular choice for everybody throughout the world. Okay, and a greater choice of universities and specializations. Okay, now how many of you want to do how many of you are going to US because the choice of course you want to pursue is not available in India? Anybody here? Okay, Syed. Okay, so which course is that, Syed? Okay, my course in MIS says Srikanth. Audio technology says Ishan. MTech in geotechnical. Okay, so there might be few courses which might not be very popular in India. Mainly so because there are not many businesses, to make use of it, right? So after you study, okay, what do you want to do? Do you want, all of you want to take up a job? Yes. Okay. Or all of you, or some of you might want to do some research and job. Okay. So now, where will you get a job? Only when there is an industry, or when only when there is an industry to make use of whatever you have learned, right? So that may not, be, the case in India. Okay. So that is why, these newer technologies, when there's more money, there's more money to research. Okay. When companies are more prosperous, they will innovate. Okay. So that all these combinations help US to provide better industry exposure, better research opportunities, and also be a place where you can learn new things. Okay, you can experiment new things. Okay. Anybody else has any other reason why they want to go to the US? Okay, so I think we pretty much covered why you should go to the US. To earn, says Vinay. Right. So if you do well, okay, if you learn well, and because of all the industry exposure that you have, and because of the tremendous value of education in US, I think you will earn well also. Okay. Okay. Syed Irfan is asking me a question. He's saying, why to opt for GRE then GATE? Okay. Does anybody have an answer for that? Does anybody know why should you appear for GRE and not GATE? Okay, Vinay says no idea. GATE is for Indian Masters, says Santosh, right? GATE is right. Okay, but why would you opt for US universities and not for GATE? Okay, how many of you are considering GATE as well? Okay, Sin says it's your choice. Okay, Zinga says US universities are better than IITs. Okay, okay. Now, GATE happens to be a very, very competitive exam. Okay. Now, GRE, it does not have any cutoff. Okay. Now, irrespective of whatever score you get, you have plenty of universities to apply to. Okay. So there is a lot of supply. Okay, supply of good seats. Okay, but in the case of GATE, okay, the supply is very less. Okay, there are only few hundred seats available in good universities. Okay, and a lot of them will also be taken up by various reservations. Okay, now there'll be a lack of a number of people applying for those seats, and there'll be a few hundred seats. Okay, and that also for universities that don't stand up to the level of universities that are there in US. Okay, so now you choose. Do you want to shop in a supermarket where everything is available? Okay, you get high quality stuff, and you can pay the money quickly, you can pass through the gate quickly? Or do you want to stand in a ration stand, okay, where you have to stand in a long queue, and you may not get the best item that you are looking for? Which one would you choose? The first one says Amit, GRE, the easy one. All right, fine. Okay, now what are your concerns when you think of masters in US? Okay, money, okay, financial help, weightage of engineering percentage. All right. lot of money is needed. Fine. Anything other than that? Accommodation, GRE process. Okay, so one is high cost. Okay, good English skills. Placements after MS. Okay, anything else other than your fees? Yes, Sham, recommendation letter is also required. Okay, visa says Pranay, accommodation says Sagar. Okay, Sagar is asking me when is the right time for GRE? Right after college or after some work experience? Academic record, resume, language, SOP, scholarship. Okay, so I'll just summarize from my learning the topmost concerns. High cost, that includes the cost of living, the admission fees. Okay, do I have sufficient academic achievements? With whatever I have done in the past. Okay, will I get into a good university? Okay, and which university should I apply for? Okay. Nobody seemed to have that concern, or does anyone of you have that concern? Okay, I have. I do. Second one is a major concern. All right. Okay. So we will discuss all of them, and we will find out how is that you can you can improve on all these points of concern. Okay. How is that you can overcome all these? Okay, which university should I apply for? Visa. The application procedures, statement. How do I get a statement of purpose? Transcripts, grade points, GRE, and TOEFL. Okay, so have I summarized everything that was there in your mind? Yes, Zingas, I will be, talking about letter of recommendations also. Okay, what are transcripts? Okay, we will discuss all of them. Okay, now how many of you, now the title of this online seminar is 7 Steps to MS in US. Okay, now why do we call it 7 steps? Anybody has any clue? Yes, Aditya, I will definitely explain about SOP. Okay, we will discuss it in detail. The 7 procedures, concerns for the steps, 7 procedures to follow. Okay, so what are these 7 steps? Any guesses? Amit says best GRE score. Okay, GRE. Okay, GRE TOEFL, things to be done: filling up the form, apply, visa, from GRE to get admit, say Shashwat. Okay, visa, academic grades, admit. Okay, so I got some of the answers from you. Okay, so these are the 7 steps. So all of you can see the screen, right? So the first step is to have a good good academic achievements. Okay, second step is your GRE and TOEFL score. Third step is to select a university. Okay, fourth step is to get letter of recommendation. Fifth step is to write an SOP. Sixth step is to make arrangements for finance. Okay, and seventh step is to get a visa and fly off to US. Okay, so do they look simple? Yes. No. No. Not at all. Kind of. Only on paper. Okay. Now, simple or not, I'll explain all of them. Okay, and I hope all of you will have a fair understanding of each one of them, and you will be able to meet each of the requirements with some effort. Okay, it's definitely not possible. I mean, it's definitely possible. Okay, and I wish all of you will be able to cross all these 7 steps and achieve your dreams. Okay, now the first step, the academic achievements. So what is academic achievements? What is it made up of? Okay, so it's made up of CGPA or percentage, okay, whichever form you get it in your university. Okay, what are the electives that you've taken? How are you performing in those electives? Okay, what are the projects that you have done? How relevant is that project to the subject that you're planning to take up? Okay, what are the paper publications that you have done? Okay, what was the topic of research? Okay, what quality of paper publication was it? Okay, how many places was it cited? Okay, and internship. Okay, so I'm very sorry. Okay, so what was your internship, and is it relevant to the subject that you're planning to take up? Okay, Gautam is asking me how to publish paper. Okay, now Gautam, are you studying or are you working? Okay, now if you're in college, if you're studying, okay, then if you talk to your professors, okay, you will definitely find out a couple of them writing papers, okay, to get them published. Okay, now in a paper publication, okay, a person, a scholar, okay, he identifies an area, okay, and he does research on it, and he publishes his findings. Okay, now something like that is used by other professors. It is used by others in the industry for application. Okay, now if more and more people find your research to be valuable, okay, more and more people will refer it, more and more people will cite it, okay, and thus the value of the paper will increase. Okay, now if you do something very valuable, okay, it will be recognized by the university. Okay, now somebody is asking me what are electives. Okay, electives are the subjects that you take up during your engineering. Okay, now I'm guessing most of you would have your first year common, and after second year you'll be taking your subjects of specialization, right? So those are called your electives. Okay, what is the minimum CGPA requirement? Okay, now most universities would not put a cutoff saying this is the requirement, this is the CGPA requirement, or this is the percentage requirement. Okay, but okay, now to any universities there are thousands of students applying. Okay, now it's understood that a university will take the best the best candidates, right? So if you want to stand up above the competition, you should have a good CGPA. Okay, now if you don't have a good CGPA, there are ways to cover it up, and we will look at that in the subsequent steps that we discuss. Okay, minimum backlogs. Okay, I know a lot of students who have had backlogs still doing well in the US. Okay, so don't worry about backlogs. Okay, in the sense that don't get more of them. But if you had them in the past, okay, don't dwell upon it. Okay, there are ways to overcome it and ways to excel. All right. So any more questions on this slide? Okay, are internships important? Okay, internships, if you do that with relevance to the subject that you're opting for, they will be of added value. Okay, any kind of internship, will not help you, but internships in the field of the subject that you're taking up. Okay, Tariq is saying I'm doing my project from ISRO. Does that count as internship? Okay, so Tariq, it might either count as a project or an internship. Okay, so whatever it is, if you're doing a project in ISRO, that is job well done. Okay, as long as it is relevant to the subject that you're planning to take up. Okay, ISRO is one of the most prestigious institutes in the entire world. Okay, and it would definitely add some brownie points. Okay. Now we'll quickly move on to discuss the next step. Okay, so what is the next step? Okay, so first step is academic achievements. So what is the next step? GRE, GRE and TOEFL. Right. Okay. Now some of you had backlogs. Okay, and how many of you have CGPA more than 9? Okay, Naman has. Okay, Sachin has 9.2. Okay, Indra says impossible. All right, fine. 9.7 says Pranay. 6.5. All right. Okay. Now, if you don't have CGPA that's as attractive as 9, 9.5, 9.7 like Pranay has, okay, what do we do? We still have a dream, and we still want to get into a good university. So how do I reach there? Gautam says high GRE. Exactly. Okay. Now, irrespective of what score you had in the past, okay, you will still have to do well in your GRE. Okay, and GRE also happens to be more fresh, right? Now, when you're applying to universities, GRE probably might be one of the freshest scores that you will have. Okay, your CGPA, what you did in your first year, what you did in your second year, that they are slightly older, right? From the time you come to first year to the fourth year, do you change? Do you change as a student? Do you change as a person? Yes. Okay. So everybody recognizes that. Okay. You recognize that. Your professors recognize that, and universities also recognize that. Okay. So that is why the weightage or the consideration is distributed. It's not just academic profile. It's also GRE and other things. Okay. So you will have to do well in your GRE. Okay. And because it happens to be one of the freshest exams that you will take up, okay, the importance of doing well in that also increases. Okay. Now it adds to your credentials. Okay. It acts as a tiebreaker in a lot of places. Okay. Now how many of you are planning to go to Germany? Norway? Okay. Thinking of? No? All right. Okay. Now, just to make it very clear. Okay. Many universities in Germany, may not require a GRE exam. Okay. But that still should not stop you from taking GRE lightly. Okay. Usman is saying, is something special about Germany. Okay. Usman, lot of students who are doing mechanical engineering or engineering that's related to the industrial side, okay, they prefer Germany. Mechanical heaven says Sagar, automobile says Sai, right? Power sector. Okay, so in that case, you would want to think about going to Germany. Okay, so in that case, it will act as a tiebreaker. Okay, now another thing is that it can help you get financial aid. Okay. Now, how many of you want to get financial aid when you go for university? Okay, Sachin wants, Sagar wants, Zingas wants, I want, you want, everybody wants. Exactly. Okay. Now, getting a high, high GRE score can also help you get, financial aid. Okay. Now, also your GRE score, okay, reflects how seriously you take your master's degree. Right? Do you think a guy who takes, his MS seriously will, prepare hard for GRE? Yes? Right? Definitely. Okay. So that is why, that is something what even the visa officer would be looking at. Okay. That is why the fourth point says visa. Okay. Now somebody who has, a low GRE score, okay, maybe, may be seen with, doubtful, eyes, from the visa officer. Right, Anmol, language proficiency exam is required in Germany. Okay, unlike US, okay, in Germany you might have to, you might not be able to survive by just knowing English. Okay, so you need to learn Germany. Sorry, you need to learn German. Okay. Now we'll discuss about German universities in another different webinar sometime later. Okay, today we want to discuss only about MS in US. Right, Sham. Okay, now what next after your GRE? What is the next step? University, say Sham. Right. So how do you select a university? By ranking, based on GRE score, by profile, placement opportunities, subject field, rating of top universities, best university. Ranking is one of the things that you should consider. Okay. Now, but what else should you consider? Okay, courses offered, scholarships, state universities, reputation. Right. So the courses offered, okay, rank of the university, faculty profile, internship, placement, international student population, accommodation, tuition fees, cost of living, and climate. Okay. Now, how many of you have thought about the course that you want to, take up? Anybody here who has thought of it? VLSI, says Pranay, CS, automobile, mechanical, civil, machine design. Amaya says MEM, image processing, design, audio technology, DBMS, computing and automation, electronics, ECE, networking. Right. Okay. Now, how many of you would be ready to take up any, some other course, for a university, for a different university? Anybody here? Ready to give up on the choice of course that you want? Okay, Sandeep says no. Naman says not at all. No. Okay, no way. Okay, so in that case, your most important priority should be the course that is offered. Okay, now we have had a lot of students who have who have given their GRE and gone to the US. Okay, and when we ask all of them, okay, all of them said the same thing, that it doesn't matter which university you go to. Okay, ranking might be plus or minus 10, it doesn't matter. Okay, but what really matters is that you do the course that you are looking for. Okay, you excel in you will excel in whatever you have interest in. Okay, and automatically you will do well. Okay, now lot of universities, the difference in the level of the quality of education would not be very different. Okay, so it's important that you choose the course of your liking. Okay, but you should definitely consider rank of universities. Okay, rank 1 might not be same as rank 100. Okay, now depending upon the score that you have, okay, you will be able to find out what is the level of what is the rank of the university that you should be applying to. Okay, now each one of us cannot apply to the same kind of university. Okay, right? Okay, so you need to find out that. Okay, what is what is a low level low rank university for you, what is a right level of university for you, and what is the what is a very ambitious university for you. Okay, what is the risk level involved in each of the cases, right? Now when you are applying to universities, certain level of risk is always involved. Okay, each for every university you will have a different probability chance of getting into a university. Okay, you will it will be wise for you to apply to few universities which are slightly ambitious for you. Okay, because you apply only once, why not try? Okay, but you should definitely not miss out universities that are exactly of your level. Okay, now faculty profile means who are the who are the professors who are teaching in a university. Okay, now you'll be able to find out if you go to the university website, you'll be able to find out who are the professors there and what research is going on and which professor is doing what kind of research. Okay, now if you Google some more, you'll be able to find out how valuable that research is. Okay, and also if you happen to be a person who has done a lot of paper publications, who is reading a lot of research work, you will also be able to identify or you will also know some professors, and you can go back and find out which university they come from. Okay, and you would obviously would like to work under their wing. Okay, and which are the universities where you will have an internship possibility. Okay, what is the placement record like? Okay, and we already discussed student international student population. You don't want to look like an alien there. Okay, and accommodation. Okay, may not be the most important thing, but definitely it adds to the cost. Okay, now accommodation inside the university mostly is very expensive. Okay, outside the university campus might be cheaper. Okay, now you'll have to find out if such options are available. Okay, whether it's in the city, whether it's outside the city. Okay, what is the tuition fees like? Okay, this will this will happen to be the most important factor for a lot of us. Okay, now tuition fees will vary depending upon the rank of university and type of university. Okay, how prestigious the university is, whether it's run by the government or whether it's run by the state or it's privately run. Okay, how much is the funding they receive from industry? Depending upon that, the tuition fees would vary a lot. Okay, so that will also and it so that's, I think that's going to be an important factor. Okay, what and the rest of cost of living, the other is cost of living, and what is the climate like? Okay, now in US the climate is not like India. So you might want, if you have the choice, you might want to, stay in a warmer place, okay, in the Bay Area like California, okay. So, that is also one of the, points of consideration for many students. Okay, so we have also put that up. Okay, now we have finished discussing with universities. Okay, Osman is saying, where do we have beaches? Okay, on the Bay side, on the eastern Bay side, okay, eastern coast. Florida, says Naman. Okay, now, so what is now? We'll move on to discuss the next step, that is letter of recommendation. Okay, so how many of you know what is a letter of recommendation? Okay, Naman knows. All right. LOR says Pranay. Amit also knows. Okay, so what is a letter of recommendation? Okay, our professors must recommend, says Indra. Letter from professor. Okay, right. Okay, so a letter of recommendation could be from either your professor, your HOD, from your project in charge, okay, or somebody who was supervising you during your internship, okay, your supervisor at your workplace, your manager, your team leader at your workplace, okay. All these all these people are capable of giving you a letter of recommendation, okay. So it will be a letter stating that the student or the candidate applying to the university is good, okay, has so and so qualities and is fit to do MS, okay. I have known him from from this period of time, and this is what I've observed. Okay, so this is what it will have to be, okay, and it can different universities accept it in different forms, okay. Some of them may be just letters written, okay, handwritten, okay. Some of them could be in the form of a form. Yes, it is compulsory, okay. Now typically most universities will ask for at least 3 letter of recommendations. Okay, now some universities may ask in written form, like I said earlier, or they could ask you to fill up a form, online form. Okay, so university will send the form, and your professor will have to complete by filling up the form. Okay, any other questions? Okay, should I get it from the college or organization where I have done my project? You can get it from either of the places, Srinivasa. Okay, you'll have to get 3 such letter of recommendations. Okay, what you can see on your screen is the people who can give you a letter of recommendation. Okay, internship professor is also fine. What should be the qualifications of the lecturer? Okay, no such qualifications are really written. It doesn't. It may matter. Okay, somebody who has a PhD might have higher maybe seen as a better person to recommend. Okay. How current does the recommendation has to be? Okay, you have to get the letter of recommendation while you are applying for the university. Okay, so don't get a very old one. Okay, if the letter is fake, how will the university consider it? The university will definitely find out contact your reference and find out. They will cross check it. Okay, so a letter of recommendation has to be from a person with whom you have a professional relationship. It cannot be from your relative. It cannot be from your father, mother, because of uncle or aunt. It cannot be because of that. Okay, it has to come from a professional. Sham, handwritten LOS, it will depend upon the university. Okay, university will tell you, the type of format in which they would like to receive a letter of recommendations. Okay, so we'll move on to the next step. A lot of questions are getting repeated. Okay, we'll move on to the next step, which is statement of purpose. Okay, so what is the statement of purpose? Sham, yes, in a written form also it might be accepted. Okay, but it depends entirely upon the university. Okay, Pranay is saying statement of purpose says why we need to join that particular university. Santosh also says the same thing. Purpose of the stream, says Shashwat. Past, present and future of the applicant, says Naman. The reason why I would like to pursue masters is SOP, says Amit. Ishan says SOP means why you want to study in that particular university. Okay, a lot of you have broadly got it right. Okay, so in your statement of purpose, okay, the statement of purpose letter will be written by you. Okay, it will be to the selecting committee of the university that you are applying to. Okay, and you will express your motivation for higher studies. Okay, your area of interest. Okay, what is your goal in life? Okay, why are you choosing that particular university? Okay, now simple guidelines. Typically it should be one-page document. Okay, don't have very flowery language. Okay, be simple, be sincere, be honest. Okay, that is what is required. Have it, write it with integrity. They will definitely cross-check it. They will they will find out if you if you try to hide something or lie. Okay, now if you have done some electives, projects or published papers in the area of in the area where you're applying to, okay, then this is your opportunity to tell about yourself. Okay, now statement of purpose is also one of the best chances for you to express your love for masters. Okay, even though if you are not had good academic profile, okay, if you're not done well in your college, still you can this is your opportunity to make it clear that you still love MS and why you want to take it up. Okay, and why should that they take a chance upon you. Okay, now what is the next step? Yes, Osman, you can there are people who can guide you with making a statement of purpose. Okay, Sham says finance. Okay, so what is finance and why do you need finance? Little bit expensive, say Sham. Okay. Yes, Osman, we do guide with that. Okay, Santosh says to fund for 2 years, need to plan ahead. Shashwat says fees, to pay the tuition fees. Exactly right. So your expenses is your tuition fees plus your living cost. Okay. Now, how do you make arrangements for that? How will you pay for it? Loan, right? Loan is one of the options. Scholarship, bank loan. Okay, a lot of you saying loan, scholarship. Okay, fine. So loan is one of the options. Scholarship is one of the other option. Okay. The other options are to get a tuition fee waiver. Okay. Now, what is a tuition fee waiver? Okay. Tuition fee waiver means part of your tuition fee. Okay, or the full part of your tuition fee gets waived off. That is, you don't have to pay tuition fee, or you don't have to pay part of the tuition fee. Okay. Now, how do you get that? Okay. Now, if a university is really impressed with you, they will do that. Yes, it is possible. Okay. It is very rare to find such cases. Okay, but it is definitely possible. Okay. Now, universities have fundings for this. Okay. When they find the right candidate, they do give tuition fee waiver. Okay. Then there is something called as fellowship, scholarship, and assistantships. Okay. Now, what are these? Okay. Now, if you work inside the university, if you work inside the college, okay, in that case, they're called as fellowships and assistantships. Okay. Now, when you act as a assistant of research to a professor, okay, then you will be called as assistant. It will be called as assistantship. Okay. When you support them in other academic related activities, then it's fellowship. Okay. Then there are other on-campus jobs, like you can become a librarian, or you can be part of a student body. Okay, they're all on-campus jobs. Okay, there are other internships that you can go through. Okay, you can take student loan, okay, or education loan, okay, or it could also come from your funds, self funds. Okay, if you earned, if you have saved some money, some pocket money, okay, or your parents' money, okay, so all that is self fund. What is student loan? Okay, a bank loan is a student loan. Okay, so there are different rates for different kinds of loans. Okay, so for education loan or for students, the terms and conditions and the rates would be different. So it's a student loan. How do you get assistantship? Okay, for all all these posts at the university, you will have to apply to them. Okay, so that is when you will get it. Okay, just like the way you will apply for a job. Okay, same way you'll have to apply for all these positions. Okay, Tripathi is asking what is the maximum scholarship. Okay, I have heard of 100% scholarship also. Okay. Okay, Indra is asking me, does do American banks give us loan? Yes, American banks also will give you loan. Okay, but when you're going for your visa and when you're applying to universities, okay, by then you should already have all your finances. Okay, so you'll not have the chance of going to the US and getting a loan. Okay, Sham, everybody is not qualified for scholarships. Okay. Now, do you think everybody can be given a scholarship? In that case, they would just lower the tuition fees, right? Yes, Sandeep, they closely mean the same. Okay, so now you have made arrangements for your funding. You have understood what is finance. Okay, now what is the next step and what is the last step? Visa. Visa, right? Okay. Now, how do you get through this? Okay. For how many of you this is a concern? All right. It's a concern for some of you. All right. Okay. Just one last question related to finance. Is there any standard amount of money must be kept with us? Right, Vaibhav? Okay, Indra Vaibhav. Okay, you need to have sufficient, money with you to, sustain yourself in the US. Okay, you should have sufficient money for, to fund your education, and you should have sufficient money for all your other expenses. Okay, Gautam, you will have to check which university you're going to. Okay, so I cannot tell you how much is how much is enough or how much is minimum. Okay, now we'll quickly move on to look at visa. Okay, and what to do so that you get past your the visa interview with success. Okay, so what does a visa officer look for? Any ideas? Yes, Prakash, Indian banks can give loan. Your asset, say Sagar, okay? Yeah, so that's one of the things that the visa officer will look for. Okay, do you have sufficient funds? Okay, will you be able to sustain yourself through the period of education? Okay, what are the future plans of the applicant? Okay, is he going there on the pretext of education, and will he run off somewhere else? Okay, will he return back to India, or does he plan to get settled there? Okay, now in most cases they don't want people to get settled there. Okay, when you're going on student visa, they definitely don't want you to do that. Okay, if you want to get settled there, you go through a different visa. Okay, not through student visa. Okay, is the applicant genuine? Okay, is the applicant eligible? Okay, does he have sufficient funding to sustain himself? Okay, now if the answer to all of this, okay, is positive, okay, and if it matches whatever they are looking for, in that case, you are passed through the visa interview as well. Okay, now we have covered all the 7 steps. Okay, now what are we all looking for at this point of time? GRE says Sham. Santosh says GRE and TOEFL. GRE score says Sai Teja. GRE score says Ravi Devraj. Okay, Sagar is asking, how do you hide the fact that if you want to settle there? Okay, you just don't tell them. Right, so a lot of you are saying GRE score, right? Okay, so how many of you would like to know how is that GREH can help you boost your GRE scores? How is that you can get a very high score in GRE? Okay, Santosh is saying I have already registered for GREH. All right. Okay. So I'm going to tell you how is that GREH can help you prepare for GRE. Okay, and make sure that you receive all the guidance and support to reach your dream university. Okay, now just again this session will also be I would like to be very interactive. Okay, I'm going to ask a lot of questions. Are you guys up for it? Are you guys ready to answer? Santosh says yes. Srinivasa says yes. Indra says yes. Sagar says yes. Osman also says yes. Okay. All right. Okay then. Now, now let's consider this situation. Okay, where you're not well, you're sick. Okay, so whom do you look up to? Whom do you go to? Who do you think can treat you? Doctor says Devraj. Okay, everybody says doctor. Sagar says mom. Nurse says Menka. Fine. Okay. Now when you go to a doctor, okay, let us settle for doctor. Vinay says parents. Fine. Okay. Now when you go to a doctor, how is that he recognizes how to treat you? What is your interaction like? Okay, Pranay says, oh, I'll go to Obama. By seeing our expression, says Osman. Deva says by seeing the symptoms. Okay, so ask about the problem, says Prakash. Right. So what is it called? Asking problem. Experience. Okay. So it is called diagnosis, right? Investigation, says Menka. Diagnostic, says Santosh, right? Okay. So a diagnostic, could happen in various forms. They could use a thermometer. They could use a stethoscope. It could involve X-ray. It could involve checking your pulse, right? It could involve so many things. Right. Okay. So after you have got the results for diagnostic test, do you think the doctor will be able to treat you better? Yes. Okay. And it will be accurate and helpful and precise. Okay. So that's exactly the methodology we use at GREH. Okay. Now there is a reason why you go to the doctor and you don't go to the mechanic, right? Because a doctor is an expert. Okay, a doctor can treat human body. Okay, a mechanic cannot treat human body, right? So similarly, at GREH you get two personal trainers. Okay, those who are experts. Okay, so one who is an expert in verbal and another who is an expert in quant. Okay, now you will get a call from these from your personal trainers. Okay, and they will understand your requirements. Okay, and they will take a diagnostic test. Okay, now after the diagnostic test, they will be able to understand what are your weak areas and what are your areas of strength. Okay, now if you know the areas you are weak in, what will you do about them? Work on it, says Srinivasa. Okay. Prakash also says work on it, practice, concentrate much on it. Right. So this will help. This will help you to find out what are your weak areas. Okay, and you will have a study plan that focuses on your weak areas. Okay, so the content will also be customized according to your requirements. Okay, now like a lot of you said, you need to practice. Okay, now when you're practicing, what are the difficulties that you might face? Time management, says Menka. Doubts may arise, says Prakash. Doubts, says Menka. Okay, fine. Time management and doubts. Anything else? Interest? Okay. Okay. So now if you practice online, okay, on GREH, we have a technology called as millisecond monitoring technology, okay, which is able to track every millisecond of yours and give you feedback, okay. So in such a way that you will improve your time management skills, okay. Now, some of you said you have doubts, you may have doubts, okay. So in that case, there's a feature called as Ask a Doubt, okay. You can ask a doubt, okay, and get it clarified, okay. Your personal trainer will answer it, okay. There's another feature called as Insta Doubt, okay, which will help you get the answers to your doubts instantly, okay. Now, and somebody said you may lose interest, right? Now, when your personal trainers are looking over you all the time, okay, they will be motivating you, okay. They will make sure that you don't lose interest and you don't lose motivation, okay. So there's always that personal backing, okay, that you will always have throughout the period of your GRE practice, okay. Now, when you're appearing for any exam, okay, would you like to practice questions that are most likely to appear in GRE, or the ones that won't appear in GRE? Okay, Vinay, am I audible now? Okay, Menka says that appear in GRE. Prakash says questions having more chance to come. Okay. So the questions that are more likely to appear in GRE are called GRE style exams. Okay, GRE style questions. Okay, and you will be going through a lot of them through your practice sessions. Okay, and when you're practicing them, okay, your personal trainer will be looking at your performance and giving you feedback for improvement all the time. Okay, they will be able to pinpoint why you're making some mistakes, okay, and how to improve them. They'll also be able to foresee all the mistakes that you might do in the future and stop you from doing that. Okay, so Osman is saying what is the duration of the course? Okay, there are different durations of course that are available at GREH. Okay, now for that you can talk to student counselors and find out. Okay, besides what I told you, okay, there are plenty of other features that are available. Okay, and you can discuss with the student counselors and get to know more about them. Okay, now I would like to have one more poll at at this juncture. Okay, and you can tell me, would you like GREH to help you with your GRE preparation? Okay, so do you see a poll in front of your screens? Okay, Zdinga says yes. All right. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to participate in that poll and tell me. Definitely, I would love to, or I would like to talk to a GRE expert, maybe later, or I'll prepare by myself, or I have already joined GREH. Okay, any other questions for me? Osman, there have been more than 15,000 students who have prepared with GREH, okay, and all of them have been very happy and all of them have got very high score, okay. That itself is a testimony and a guarantee that if you prepare with GREH, you will also get a very high score. Okay, so what you can do is we can send you some links, okay, and you can go through the testimonials of students who have prepared with GREH. Thank you, Sagar. Yes, Zingas, it's completely online. Sai Teja, the validity of GRE score is 5 years. Thank you, Amit Gupta. Amit Gupta says GRE Edge is the best online academy. It's very heartening to hear that. Abhijit Bhaskar, I suggest that you talk to a student counselor and find out. Okay. From whatever briefly you have told me, I think you should consider MS, and you can talk in detail with a student counselor. Thank you, Prakash. Osman, the fees for different, we have, wide variety of programs, and we provide personalized training. Okay, so the fees is also different. Okay, so you can talk to a student counselor, and you can find out what is the fees for the program that suits you. Okay. Okay, I recommend each one of you to talk to student counselors and get all the help that is required, from GRE Edge. Okay, thank you guys. Can I close the poll now? No, Zingas, we do not provide any courses for TOEFL. Okay, thank you for participating in the poll. I'll be closing it now. Okay, and you can contact us on this number, or you can email us to info@greedge.com. Okay, we are always available to answer all your queries and to help you plan your GRE and get good GRE score. All right, so we close the online seminar for today. Good to have all of you here. Very interactive online seminar, and the number of questions I got from you were was astounding, and some of the questions were really good. Okay, I enjoyed answering all of them, and thank you very much once again. Have a good night. Happy learning with GRE Edge.